What's going on, folks? Rick here. I'm back to do another video, and I'm here to do my full review of the Oneplus 8T. So now, in this field, the Oneplus 8T is selling for $699. I have the T-Mobile variant at $699, and interestingly enough, the T-Mobile variant at $699 does have an IP68 dust and water resistant certification. But if you purchase the unlocked version, you will not get that. That's something to keep in mind. So obviously with every full review, we go into some cons and some pros, and then I will step you through on whether or not I think you should pull the trigger on this. And then we're gonna also do a couple of head-to-head matchups. I do have the Samsung S20 FE Fan Edition 5G. This is the key competitor to the Oneplus 8T, but that will be for another video. So without further ado, let's get into some of the cons, and then we'll get into the pros and a final conclusion. Con number one, and the most blaring con of this device, I'll just get it out of the way now, is the camera setup on this device. You have a 4-camera setup, you have a monochrome sensor, you have a telephoto, you have a wide angle, and you have your main shooter. Not getting into megapixels, I'm just gonna let you know the camera setup on this is mediocre. You also have 2 separate LED flashes. I think that's a bit of overkill, but you have it there as well. What I've noticed from the main shooter, you get the best camera quality. However, this has been just lifted off the OnePlus 8. The OnePlus 8 didn't get good reviews for the camera. They just lifted it off that phone and put it in here. No upgrade to the camera system, unless they have a little like software tricks that they're gonna come out with in the near future with software updates. But right now, it's the same camera setup as the OnePlus 8, and it's just mediocre. So if cameras are your main bag and you wanna go with camera quality, I would suggest going with something like the Fan Edition, where the camera setup is so much better than the OnePlus 8T. So some of the other things that I really didn't like is I am not a stock Android user. You know, I am and I'm not. You know what I mean? I prefer to have a skinned version of Android. I love customization. I love manufacturers throwing things at you, and not to the extent of putting too much bloatware on your phone, but giving you a lot of different key features. I like that. So with that being said, take that with a grain of salt. I noticed that this seems to be a lot more glitchy with certain things like YouTube. I know I'm not having that issue no more. I started playing with the settings, but this phone just seemed to be a little bit more glitchy than the OnePlus 8 from my just using both phones, and I found that to be really like hard to believe. It was glitchy. Some things I was able to fix in the settings and get those glitches taken care of, but overall, it seemed a bit buggy and a bit glitchy to me. I am getting this device on the first day. I did pre-order it, so that's to be expected. I expect a lot of software updates in the next few weeks to fix a lot of those issues. But all in all, this is an amazing device with that one huge problem. You know what I mean? You know, we talked about pillars of a manufacturer and what people want. Just a layman person, not a tech reviewer, not someone that's into phones. You want a good camera, you want good battery life, you want a phone not to be laggy, and an amazing screen. You know what I mean? And if you could provide that and do it at an affordable price point, you have a home run. And this, I think the camera is really where this fails. I know they're not going to put a better camera system than they would on their flagship, so they did have to dumb it down some way. But this is not just cost cutting. This is because they didn't want this phone to compete with their flagship. So, with all that being said, let's get into a lot of the pros. The pros here, definitely this display, this flat display right here. It's a AMOLED display, Super AMOLED display, hole cutout, hole punch out, hole punch hole cutout. is off to the left-hand side. I like it off to the side. It's kind of out of my field of view, and when I'm watching videos like so, I barely even notice it. I know Samsung likes to put it in the middle, but I like it off to the side like that. Some other pros, which is some competitors in this price point are not even offering glass backs. This does have a glass back with a aluminum frame. You do have your standard alert slider here, but this is not unboxing. We all know that. That's what Oneplus comes with. One of the biggest features that I just love about this is 65 watt fast charger. So now I know some people are really bummed that it's not offering wireless charging. I'm not a huge wireless charging person. I do use it if it's available, if it's open to me, but it's not a deal breaker for me. And when you have a 65 watt charger that could charge your phone from 0 to 100 in less than 30 minutes, I don't really feel that you need it. You know what I mean? Because plug your phone in for 10 minutes and you have over 50% charge. Plug it in for 20 minutes and you're at like 80, and then finally plug it in for a half an hour and you're topped off from 0 to 100. So this fast charger is the single main reason why I decided to go with this. You know, in addition to the specs, it has 12 gigabytes of RAM. It has 256 gigabytes of storage. So definitely upgrades from the 8 variant that T-Mobile offered me. They only offered a 128 gigabyte version, unexpandable, and I don't know, it just wasn't up to snuff. So upgrading to this with the 256, the 12 gigs of RAM, I think is definitely a home run for OnePlus. I do think if you wait a little while longer, it will drop in price, maybe about $100 for Black Friday deals and things of that nature. So there's also something to think about. And then also the optical fingerprint reader. I do have a screen protector on here now. I just added it today, but it works flawlessly. You know, OnePlus's fingerprint readers always work flawlessly for me. I've never really had an issue with them not working, and it works very well. You do have stereo speakers on here, so I will note that the stereo speakers are loud. So let's try to see if we could put some non-copyright music on. Non-copyright music. Okay, so let's see. All right, let's put some non-copyright music. Okay, so I don't know if it'll do it any justice. It goes fairly loud through the stereo speakers, but some other competitors are louder, but it is good enough. So this is at about a 35%. $70. Alright, so that was fairly loud for a phone at this price point. Again, some other competitors go a little bit louder, but I find this phone overall to be a compelling device to purchase. It rivals a lot of flagships, and I think you will not be upset if you do purchase this device at all. Again, it's just sad like that the camera setup was so just like blah. It's not bad, but it's just like not amazing. But overall, price to value, 256 gigabytes of RAM, 120 Hz refresh rate, Super AMOLED flat panel display, in-screen fingerprint sensor, decent volumes on the stereo speakers, glass back. You know what I mean? You really can't go wrong. This is a great device. I'm definitely recommending people do pick this up. But if your main goal is just that camera quality, and you just, you're a photog and you do vlogging through your cell phone, I would probably go with the fan edition or something of that sort. Alright guys, that was my video. If you have any questions, any comments, leave it in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.